Over here. Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to overstay your welcome.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
That's right. I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everett sent to law school?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes, in the way she stands, in her face.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men. What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do anything to you.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress. Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. We've talked to Everard Clare. We know who these men are. The union's militant wing.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job. Ask your questions.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
This is where you say you're a bit.
Detective.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
We're looking for Titus Hardy.
Wow. The RCM sent us some big dick cops.
Real big dick cops. Look at them. Reckless. Swing.
Yeah, look at the big dick on that cop. Can't tell a dick that big what to do.
Must be something in the water in Jamrock.
Yeah, gave him real nice big dicks.
Yeah.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
No. I's here. You got business with my boy.
He understood what you were doing, taking inventory of them.
Yeah! You fuck with the Hardy boys, you fuck with Titus Hardy.
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one's fucking you, you stupid fuck.
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind.
Yeah, you're not even being fucked, Dennis.
Easy, fellas. We got company. Let's see what brings the cop around.
Too late. You already scanned the room. You got a pretty good picture. Of the actors here, you could take another look at the tracks in the mud on the crime scene. Compare it to these guys.
So, you're not just here to swing your big dick. You're here for the pretty boy. A real looker, that one. Stinks like shit, too.
They couldn't get him down, boss. He's still up there, stinking up the place.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Evrard? And what did he tell you? That we killed him? That we took a cargo belt from the harbor, went out back, and used it to hang him? Because we did. All of us together. I hope he told the story straight. I hope. Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy boy without arresting all Hardy boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
Who do you fucking think does?
The sweaty man turns red and looks first down, then around him.
It's not the fat ass. Titus runs the Hardy boys, genius.
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
Yes, there are some administrative differences. But on that night, they all acted as one man. You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean the representative for Wild Pines? The shipping company you are striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that.
Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
There's slight unease in him suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape.
To kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls, grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah, this girl's on the mic, a beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake, the fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle, doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around.
There's something odd here.
No. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room, given how many questions you've lobbed their way. Well, this one, but he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Like what, Copper? Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
A fearful readiness, like an electrical charge, raises hairs in the room. By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer.
Look, Coppers. I know you think you're doing your job here, but there are 7 of us and 2 of you.
The bore's the size of your eye. I can almost see the stars. The last thing you hear is a little murmur. Not a blast, not an echo. No one screams. It's a... More dead cops. Sad news from the district of Martinez, as the bodies of 2 police officers are found floating in the canal. It is believed the officers were pursuing a murder investigation, but got caught in the dock workers' strike and were gunned down under unclear circumstances. Such needless loss of life is truly tragic. A local...
Let me handle Detective.
Her entire character...
No, so let's get to it. That's Titus.
It doesn't matter.
She says no. Could this be the Miss Beauty?
I suggest not.
Even though she has excellent control.
You are not here to chat, like I already told you. What you want is of... What are we going... The Union isn't... If anything, it is the art. Aggressive.
So we've talked to Everard Clare.
Listen, you must...
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask. Or get back to your commanders. Get sober. Do your...
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Hey,
Do not let their squeals disturb.
What, is he fucking...
hey, asshole, up here.
We're looking for Titus Hardy.
Wow. Real big.
Yeah,
Must be some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
No.
He understood.
yeah.
Relax, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis.
Let Dennis.
Yeah.
Easy, Phil.
Too late. You already scanned the room. Good. You could take another look at the tracks in the yard. On the...
So, you
They couldn't get...
Funny. But my partner and I...
Everard? And what did he... Because we did. God.
No. These 7 honest men,
How many people have you...
Shares elect...
Or send them to reunion to.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility. A military prison run by the Coalition.
But you see, a law.
are you deaf? Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could...
Who do you fucking think does?
That's right, ass.
No. You did not. You don't have...
I know, Lizzie.
Known.
Yeah.
Quiet.
By the pine...
No. Why don't you ask her?
That's enough insinuation.
Why? I am.
What kind?
The kind that shows up when you start.
A live grenade.
I can't prove.
Cause one night,
Really?
yeah,
We couldn't believe it.
Sire, this is a serious violation of the
Wrong.
There's a slight
To kill us all.
Yeah,
He grabbed some.
yeah. This girl's on the mic. Show me your con.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
There's something odd here.
No.
There's nothing you can do for now.
We hang.
Didn't they?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy.
Titus,
We over.
Then we left.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first.
With numb.
No, he hasn't.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar.
Like what, copper? Yeah, lawman.
It's almost
Not in the.
a fearful readiness. Like by your side, the lieutenant.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now make another one. And get the fuck out of it.
nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into it.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law official.
Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy. And now she's making...
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Now, let me state this very clearly, capo. Again, just get the dead guys. About fucking time.
Mazovian Socioeconomics. 0.000% of communism has been built. Evil child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmezov fucked him over personally with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world. Was that? Could it be the Col de Mamadakwa? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear. There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular. There it is again. You're about to rediscover. It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward. What are you doing? You're a police officer, not a pansy ornithologist. The only birds you should be looking for are healthy women of...
No, I don't hear the Col de Mamadakwa, and neither do you.
Of course he doesn't. He's deaf. Oh no. The sound. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again. There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Eight pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right, the Hardy boys in the mess hall of whirling in rags. 1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick. Tight, is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even too easy. 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck. 3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43. The inked banger, perhaps. 4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print. 5. Another standard work boot, reinforced toes, number 44. Same as before. Either the musician, Eugene, or the muscle-bound blonde. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot, but number 41. Small like a rat. Shanky. Better late than never, detective. The whole world is dark and the tracks burn in it with strange beauty. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus. Carrying something? 8. Another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious. A missing 8th Hardy boy.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy boys were here. That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything?
Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus. Where's the 8th man?
Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy boy. Wonder who he is. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? A drummer only uses their right foot for the kick drum. You're right, it's stupid. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
He doesn't seem to hear you. Looking south toward the traffic jam instead. The machines are silent. The engine.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy boy. The one with his front teeth missing. Yes, well, he did look a bit like a rat. You're right. Do you think those prints belong to him? I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not. 200? This could be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was the fat Hardy boy, the one sitting in the middle.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between two men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you see? A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shoved then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first...
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
So far so good. Only one thing missing.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy.
Which one is missing, do you think? I'm going to say it was our old soul. Yes, I doubt the Hardies are going to tell us who this person is. For now, it's best if we just keep our eyes open. I'm sure our investigation will eventually lead us to the old soul.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than... Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell.
That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store nearby. Yes? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? There's no reason. 3 days ago, the RCM emergency. During that time, the victim had... Okay then, good.
Have you come to make your offering to Kuno?
Please.
Don't listen to the... You can pay tribute to Kuno with...
sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter. A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved. Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards. My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope that...
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm glad to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... Exactly, but we've been doing fine so far.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
Yes, please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir. Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather. No such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir? Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Head, yes.
No, your resilience. Not head, child. Heads.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly. Like, those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. No, I don't know.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower. The girl is at a loss for words. She shifts and sways on her feet, looking confused and uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you. Sir, sorry, sir.
It's time to leave it be. You're about to make a child cry. Are you proud of yourself?
Mm-hmm. Maybe some about other books? Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
They're all dogs.
Okay, sir.
You fell to She waits intently.
It's okay, sir.
You disappointed a small child. Well done, champ.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavour. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
Son, you got destroyed there. What an idiot you are.
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Good sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund. Indeed. Are we done with the jokes now?
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children.
Denial is the way she copes with criticism. The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? See, everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't...
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity.
The bow collector. It's early in the morning. The world is dark blue. The sparks light her face, a delicate composition of triangles. The streets seem to grow longer, like in a dolly zoom. And there's something in the air as you stand there and wave back at the shapes growing smaller and smaller. Something that has always been there. A great see-through world, the tenderness you feel, the ghost of Revachol between you, carrying your signals. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinaise. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme, Ozon, Laurentide, Face à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands. all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore, radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vimandu, on Archipelago. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Mwindi is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isola's connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods. But looking at them, perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the river Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together. Connected to the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the Coudon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. It looks downright... No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore? Or is it just you? No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbour, even the whirling in rags there.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez. With direction, your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain, and finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing. Although the map The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname. The faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sands.
Where? There? Those are old. Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Those bullets were fired during the revolution and do not warrant an investigation by officers of civil law. Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go?
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clip. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. The spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Isn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Good morning to you, officers. It's supposed to operate the waterlock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Just safety measure. Turns out the panel needs a special key to be reactivated. Wouldn't want anyone moving the waterlock with debris still in the channel. It'll be restarted on Wednesday morning. You want to do the honors when the time comes? Great! Just drop in on Wednesday if you want to see the waterlock at work. They say...
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM, and what can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me
entertained. He might be high. If he is, on what?
The Madakwa. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds for that matter. Oh, I didn't mean to imply otherwise. Well, it's been a while since I've gone hunting for the Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore, and started looking for all kinds of cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Madakwa, and he was one of those passionate people who know a lot about all. We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them, cut them up and combined them into the... Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. but I do have...
Do we really have time for this?
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Just left a recording device. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortably low, like it's coming not from the speakers, but also that's an illusion. Your breathing is just as it was and will remain that way unless you start panicking. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
And skewers, but shh.
A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling. You are mesmerized by the sounds, but also feel nausea welling up as the motif continues, then begins to recede.
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Imamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher than its predators can hear. Still, that's...
Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues.
Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps. I doubt it, but I can try and answer it. I do my best to keep my distance from all men.
He doesn't know anything. No one likes to see what you have to see every... The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dump.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days.
What? Sold? This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everard wasn't lying and the Union can track her down in time.
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them. They went their way. It was a trip.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
People as oleaginous as Everard seem like they're lying, even when they're really being truthful.
Of course.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Yes, guess what's yours? Okay, just for the length of this short demonstration, please say something that isn't, "I'm sorry." Guess. What is it? Yes, sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual Copo type from sorry to anything. Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, liquid shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go? Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. That won't happen. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector.
Now, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They are also fragile.
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. The frequency tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is her number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
No, not me. No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the watch. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the corpse. No one calls the police. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to get into...
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways.
I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down eventually.
The fucking nerves on her. Trying to hide behind weakness. You're a god. An angry but just god. You can almost hear the girl getting smaller on the other.
Okay. You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Why not?
What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your business. I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend, people tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door. But you screamed, I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me. You are all suspects in a murder investigation.
No, please, no more suicide threats.
There are way more inventive ways than a gun to leave this world. There is silence on the other end.
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like, big bucks cannot lie, and guns can... It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash. I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective? No, absolutely not. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags when she was still working there.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. Just the stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. It was a pretty bird, there since I started working in Whirling. I really liked her. You call her Scotty. Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes in this place. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for... Well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now. We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then screamed something about how you're a piece of shit human being, and why does anyone even let you work as a policeman? That you'd fire yourself, but you can't even do that. And then I had to deal with your toilet, the one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke. No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened. Wait, really? No, this is absolutely not true. I like Guard. I really do. No, I was actually flattered. I've always liked him.
There's a pause. You can almost see her.
I didn't know what to say to him later. Then you came and destroyed the place. So I left without explaining. Okay, but please don't mess it up. Please don't. All sorts of things. From disco, rock too. So much disco, and yes, that's the one you like to sing along to the most. The later it got, the more that one came on.
Interesting. You still have to find a copy though, before you can blast it. You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Wordless.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57's over.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.